have you seen anything like that?
Righto, welcome back to The Swing of It, episode 11 and a half, 12 and a half. Who cares? Who knows? I'm here in Perth. The boys are over in the Sunshine Coast drinking what appears to be vino? Cab Sav. Ooh, delicious.
You said Gatorade, yeah, we're athletes.
Yeah, Gatorade, the fun juice. Mike's
My
special,
wife's watching.
Tiger's
Water.
special stuff. Welcome to The Swing of It. Yeah, we're apart this week. Distance makes the heart grow fonder. Miss you guys already. How's the trip? You guys look knackered.
Yes, yeah. We've 2 days of 36 holes, but very, very good start. Sunshine Coast is an unreal place to come play golf. All the golf courses have been totally different so far as well.
Been to 3 different golf courses. Yeah, 36 holes, all very different. Linksy, foresty, resort style. Yeah, very, very good. This place is mint, and the weather has turned it on for us. So we're very, very.
I saw the video you sent through yesterday. The weather looked incredible. What's I know you can't give too much away about the videos because they'll come out, but what courses have you hit? Can you tell us that?
Yesterday was Twin Waters.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. And today there's 36 holes there, and then today was, where did we go, mate?
Marucci Golf.
Maroochydore.
Yeah, well, we're in Maroochydore.
Yep.
But we went to Marucci Golf Club Resort, I think it was, maybe.
Yep.
So that's more of like a link-style golf course. We played, you know what we did do? So what was it? Maybe a couple of podcasts ago, we put it to the people, Ron Chopper versus Joel, red tees or mulligans. Now, it was almost unanimously voted that we do the mulligans.
Yep.
Just so everyone's aware, we did it.
Okay.
So
I like
was given the 9.
I like the stoic look on their faces. Was it 9 over 18?
It was 9 mulligans, 18 holes.
I like that.
Oh my.
That is why we're exhausted.
Yeah, and spoilers, Joel didn't use any of them and won by 10 shots. Just rolled out there and rolled it. So how much longer have you got over there?
We're back Saturday.
So Tuesday today, podcast comes out on Thursday.
Yep.
We get back Saturday. So we've still got, tomorrow 36 holes, the following day 36 holes, and then 27 holes the day after. Yeah, so just a lot of golf. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, that's good because that's what you do for a living, I guess, and this is what we're here to talk about. So before we jump into the week's happenings, there's some housekeeping. We always like to keep house. If you're listening to this and you think, geez, Joel and Ron sound a little bit different today, that's because they are not in studio. They are drinking red Gatorade on the Sunshine Coast. But you can watch that. You can jump on YouTube, The Swing of It, watch that. 5,000 subscribers is our goal for the John Daly Classic. We're just about to tick over 2,800. So we are slowly getting there. But we need to really quickly get there because I'm looking forward to playing golf and getting pissed. You can sign up to be a patron. You can throw your keys in the fishbowl and become a swinger. We've got plenty of swingers, and that chat is popping off. So if you want to jump on that, go to our website, go to sign up as a patron, $10 a month. How much were the beers over there at the at Twin Waters, for example?
Mate, I know this. So I got a skewy of Stone and Wood.
Beautiful.
Now, how much, just off the top of your head, roughly how much do you think you would pay for a schooner?
Oh, I'd probably pay $8. I think that's probably what it would be worth.
$14.
Was it?
Yep.
Oh my goodness me.
So the thing is, I said, can I please grab a pint? Because I'm never ordering a schooner.
Of course, why would you order a schooner?
Yeah, can I grab a pint? She said, we only do schooners. I said, no dramas. She said, $14. And I was like,
just one, thanks.
Yeah, I was like, did you charge me for a pint?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, $14, man. Whoa. Yeah, I noticed that you got away with not getting a round in yesterday.
I got every round. I just missed that one.
What do you mean?
What round was that?
The first one, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you had what? You had one round, you had 2 beers and then left.
No,
Gravy paid for one, you paid for the other one, and Ron scoots out.
That must have been a tweener, like always going 2 to his 1 beer,
yeah,
mate.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. So, yeah, look, it's less than a schooner a month. Less than a schooner of Stone and Wood a month to jump in and throw your keys in the fishbowl. So that's a bargain if ever I've heard one. So jump on there. That's housekeeping out of the way. You guys have been playing golf, but more importantly, there was more golf played on the weekend. US Open last week. We roll straight into the Travellers. Did we watch any of it?
Yes.
Oh, yes. We were mid-round and we just stopped to cheer on Fleetwood because he's like, how do you not like that bloke?
Has there been in the I can't remember a more upsetting and devastating finish. Like it was so flattening.
I felt so much heartbreak that it actually affected me to the point where like I was down and flat, and that loss for me was more than like a loss that I've had in like match play before. Like it was, yeah,
it was devastating. Like I felt for Justin Rose when he lost the Masters to Rory, but like I feel like the fanfare of Rory winning a Grand Slam probably swept that a little bit under the rug. Like it was devastating. You would have loved to have seen him win that because he played so well, and then Rory just chipped away. This one was like a man who was just had an unassailable lead, and it's almost like he just doesn't. It killed me to watch. You can't.
He gassed it, man.
Yeah.
And like you watch the replays as well. I don't, like he should have put his first one closer. Like there were so many things that he should have done, but on that putt that he had, there is no denying that it's hit a pitch mark or just something on the green, and he just kicked it offline.
Oh, is that what the talk's about?
Yeah,
that's what my talk is about.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like it's a pitch mark or it's a spike mark. It's something. It's just heading straight at the hole and then just a little deviation, hits a little speed bump.
Yeah,
it was devastating.
He's obviously on a slightly different line, but still gets a somewhat of a read. Nowhere near that divot, just pops it in and just it's.
Did you see the behind?
Mate, have you not seen it?
I thought it was one of those weak part. I know that part. I've got that shot in the bag where they just they open the face and the ball just like.
No. It was he'd obviously been to putt lab and had his putter lined up because it was going straight at the hole and then just hit something and went off it. It would have only been a 10-degree deviation at a maximum, but it just was enough to kick it offline. Now that footage of the behind. Have you seen that footage of behind the putt when when Keegan makes it and Tommy's sitting there with his head in his hands?
Oh no!
Oh, you got to do.
I stopped watching once he lost. We were like, I don't want to see
it's as upsetting a video as you'll see. Like there's a bloke over there who is just celebrating he's won a massive tournament. You got to get around him, but then there is just the despair on a bloke who has just been there and lost in that way so many times. You just had to feel for him.
You were saying a lot that. It's very Ryder Cup. This, like going down the last few holes, like you're listening to the crowd, and that's one thing. And I'm probably gonna sound like an idiot, but listening to the crowd, like the hollering in the crowd, like just it was too much for me. And I like this isn't a Ryder Cup event. This is a professional tournament, and you've just got all the stupid calling in the after they'd hit the tee shot, and it was just too much. But yeah, the final two holes, it was just. Europe versus America, and it was him versus those two. Those two were like they're fist bumping each other behind the green when old mate what's his name Henley chimped in or whatever.
I would love if those two have a match in the Ryder Cup back end of the year.
Well, that's if Keegan plays. He said he's not going to pick himself. If he's the captain, but you've got to pick yourself.
You've got to pick yourself. You're in red hot form. If he wins something else, or if he comes sort of top 4 or 5 in something else leading into it, you have to pick yourself.
You'd ring Spieth and JT and go, boys, you're not in. I'm in.
Yeah, Spieth, sorry mate. It's been 10 years since you've done anything. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I thought as a captain you weren't allowed to play.
Yeah, Tiger did it.
No, you can play yourself.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'd play. I'd pick
want
myself.
to do well if you put yourself in, wouldn't you?
I'd definitely pick myself.
You're going out and having 50 points.
Exactly. I'm straight in. I am straight in there. How was the feedback? Did anyone get any feedback last week on Joel and I breaking 100 at Oakmont?
Yeah.
You might have even
again, mate.
You don't think we're going to break 100,
and neither did 98.7%.
No, incorrect.
Incorrect. So that seems wrong to me.
I put a story. Put a story up on Instagram, and I would say that 95% of it was something around the 80 to 90 mark, but it was pretty confident that we would break 100. There's the odd you're going to have 107. I've seen you putt. You're going to have 112.
Oh, yeah. You guys are going to have 110. Well, what's that? Spam account blocked. Get away. Don't talk to me.
Yes, that's what you did too. Anyone that gave you the wrong info, you're
block
out.
Yeah, get away. You're not allowed to respond.
It was pretty positive towards it. And, mate, honestly, we need to hook up that video because while the momentum's hot, we just bury, everybody that disagrees with it.
Yeah,
I reckon 100%.
So, I mean, you will be knackered when you get back, but we could do it. I'll take a day off. There it is. I'll probably take a day of leave just to go and get this filmed at the cut.
At the cut, yeah. Back tee, afternoon round, windy.
No. So we will play in the afternoon, but we can't predict the weather.
Oh, yeah. I can't do anything about whether it's windy or not.
If you want us to tee off at 1:30, we will.
Okay.
Right? If you're happy with the 1:30 tee off.
And you know it's going to be, it'll be, has there ever been a day in the Cuts history where it hasn't been blowing the spots off a dog at 2:30 in the afternoon?
When he played
I played it.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Did you break par that?
Yeah. No, 3 putted. I couldn't putt back then.
Was it was it raining at Oakmont? Was it pissing down at Oakmont this year?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think we have to get the hose out and like spray us down and maybe spray the grips of the club so everything's really dialed in, but then go out and play.
Speaking of grips of clubs, Hammer, oh my goodness, man. Chopper taught me something that I never, ever even knew about. And it's just going to sound so stupid, but up until this point of my life, I never even thought about it.
Yep.
When we got here, he grabbed out like a 7-iron and just like, hey, he's like, oh man, like when was the last time you washed your grips? And I was like, well, not up until this point because I've never heard of someone doing
Never
that.
in my whole life.
Really?
Why would you wash your grips?
Boys.
Mate, Hammer, mate, I'm a changed man. Trust me. Do yourself a favour. After the pod, after training tonight, go home, grab your clubs out, bit of dishwash on the clubs, grab your wire brush that you clean your grooves with, and scrub it, man. Give it a good scrub, probably like 30 seconds on each grip. Give it a wash down with water. You will not know yourself.
Run me through that. What is it like?
Because your hands are oily. So when you see a grip and it's really shiny.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just oil from your hands. So you go give it a wash, give it a scrub, and you'll be surprised how good his grips are brand new.
My 3-wood, honestly, like when I went to wash it, I thought it was just like a one piece, like almost like you put duct tape. It was just like a smooth surface. Scrubbed it down and it had grip.
Wow.
So like today I topped one and I went to launch the club and it stuck in my hand. I was like, what?
Too grippy.
Yeah.
Don't wash it too much.
Like 20 seconds of scrubbing. 30,
yeah, not 30. 30 was too grip. I've never, ever changed grips. Or I've never had... Because, like, who was it that was said? I saw some John Daly, actually, speaking of John Daly. He had a video a while ago that he was talking with Bryson about grip sizes and was like, it's just as important to get fitted for grips than it is to get fitted for clubs. Yep. Is that true? Or because I just whatever's on the club, I'll just hit.
Yeah, absolutely. What size glove do you wear?
Extra large, massive.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm huge. Yep.
You're a big horse.
I'm a big horse. Look, have you seen these hands? They're massive.
You need you can check the bottom of your club, see if it says mid-size, because you need mid-size grips minimum.
I have not. Well, I just what comes standard.
0.
Okay, well, I would get shaft. That would okay. Just the shaft, as in just grip and the graphite steel.
Pretty much. Well, and also when it's too thin, you're able to flip your hands over and hook it. Hammer.
Oh my god! So I need to get the big max. I need to get those baseball grips, the big bastards, because that's all I do. My missus just left.
Yeah, aggressive. Go get mid-size. Go get mid-size grips on, brand new. You will go, why didn't I do this earlier?
Oh. So when I got my new iron sent out to me,
Oh yeah, of course you did. Who sent them?
Wait, I actually tried to say that without sounding
Who sent him? Who sent him? Just quietly.
TaylorMade.
Our really good friends at well, you're really good friends. I'm still trying to sort of weasel my way into the friendship group.
Yeah. Maybe you have.
I'm just awkwardly sitting on the outside, just sort of trying to chime in with the conversation. Oh, grips up. Shut up. Anyway, I'm getting there. If they're listening, I'm just sitting down.
So when I got the irons, the grips to me were quite thick.
Yeah.
And I said to Chopper, I'm like, what's the go with these? Like, have they like added extra?
Yep.
And he goes, well, show me your other irons. I put the grips on myself, right? Oh, no. And when I put them down, like I didn't want them to like get half stuck up, so it was like a flappy.
Yeah, of course.
So I pushed them all the way down, and it stretched them, and they were the thinnest.
Oh.
Yeah, like they went like this much too far down the shaft. So the way that they sent them to me is how they should be
fit on. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to do that then.
It's actually a massive part. And I guess at the end of the day, like that's what you're holding on to. Like if you're feeling confident like holding that thing, then
because I will routinely, and I don't know whether or not it's just the fact that I can't drive a ball, but I routinely step up to the golf ball with zero confidence about where it's going, which is not good.
Yeah.
So the grip could mean little to me, but it could be the game changer.
Even though you think you're going to have 50 points?
Yeah. It's just I know, it's a strange, it's an oxymoron, isn't it? Because I just get there and I'm like, I could just launch this, but I could also, I don't know. I needed new grips. There it is. Get me new grips.
What were we talking about before we went to grips?
Tommy Fleetwood. What else were we talking about?
There was something I was going to say. Also, while we're talking about winners or potentially losers with Fleetwood, but Minjee Lee, major.
Oh, yeah. Third major. What a star. It's crazy that she's better than Min Woo. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't know if she still has it, but I saw the thing from, it might have been last year or the year before. She's got the best. She's the best at every yardage from 200 in.
Is she like the best from 100 in the world, like across?
Yeah, no. So it was like, I think it was from 200 yards in, of anyone in the world. She was like at every 200, 185, 160, 145. She was the best.
I remember I heard a story. The guy playing a corporate day at Royal Frito, and they got there having beers. She was on the putting green, teed off, crossed through 9. She's on the putting green. Finish. She's on the putting green. Had beers in the clubhouse. Went to leave. She was still on the putting green. He said it was like 8 hours.
8 hours on the putting green is just ludicrous.
My back is hurting thinking about that.
Oh yeah. How long's your putt lab session? 90 minutes?
Yeah, and I struggled.
Yeah, it seems a ridiculous amount of time to be on the putting green, but that's okay.
When Minjee and Minwoo were at the WebEx, is it the WebEx? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they hosted that. No, the event that they hosted.
Yeah, it's a WebEx.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The Minjee was out there. She was putting, and she had the broomstick, and it was the first game that she'd used the broomstick with, and I took some photos and because one of the Golf WA fellas told me this is the first game she's ever used with a broomstick. This is huge news. If you were to happen to post something about this could potentially make big news for LPGA and all that sort of business.
Yep.
And Richie came up and said, mate, I'll get you to just delete those photos if you can.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. But it's old news now because she uses a broomstick and it doesn't matter. But that was that?
So why did Richie knock you back? You were going to go viral.
Because they were just trialing it. It was just a new, because she's had huge issues with the putter in recent times.
Yep. Obviously not on the weekend, just gone. Yeah, you've been there, haven't you, Ron?
I'm in the middle of it again.
Maybe you could go to a broomstick.
Yeah. Have you ever tried the broomstick?
I've tried, but they're never big enough.
Yeah, that's true. You need an 11-foot broomstick.
Neck? No, I'm not making it, mate.
Yeah, I give you my broomstick and it's just a normal.
Yeah, it's just a normal putter. I broke a putter one day, and this was years and years and years ago. Like, I had one of my first ever sets. It was just a mini golf looking putter, and I was, we don't want to do this anymore, but I was in frustration and just smashed it on the floor, and the head snapped off, and so I had to putt with my 3-wood for the rest of the day. I should do that. Because it actually worked. It didn't work very well, but it was ages ago.
I've seen a few of them where there's 4 holes to go. The pro on tour snaps it, and then they're finishing off with a wedge and stuff.
Finishing off with a wedge or a little 3-wood.
Someone did that, and they made a highlight reel because they were sinking like 10-footers with a wedge.
10-footers with their little 3-wood. It's brilliant.
Here we go. Question.
Yep. Answer.
Do you think a tour pro would putt better with a wedge than you would with your putter?
Yes.
Yeah.
You? Yeah. I'm not asking you. I'm asking how.
Right.
Yeah.
More Gatorade.
Yeah. More Gatorade.
So, do they have to putt, or like? So, if I've got a 40-foot putt, where they could probably chip on the green, they have to use the blade and putt it.
Yeah, they're bellying it. So belly's a term that I've just recently learned. I think that is just where you just throat punch the ball with the wedge. That's it, isn't it? Yeah. That's belly. Yeah. Just a big throat punch straight in the guts like that.
Okay.
And it just has forward spin on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think probably.
Yeah.
You think you'd beat them?
No, I think that I'm just trying to think. I think they would be better than me within like 10, 15 feet. They'd be better at the short, but I feel like it'd be hard to judge bellying a ball with a wedge from like the lag putts from like 30 feet.
Yeah.
Would be tough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm confident. Give it to me. I'm getting it done. Give me the wedge. I'll beat him.
There's that 50 points.
Give me the wedge.
It's the fact. Give me the wedge.
Have you seen them like chip when they're on the green.
Yeah,
That's
it's
incredible.
ridiculous. I'd be terrified. You
They
couldn't
nail
do
it every time. Like,
Yes.
they nail it.
I saw, actually, speaking of chipping, this has been popping up. I think just because the Ryder Cup's coming up, I see this video more and more. But it's that video of Rory with the wedge off the green, and it's just the one that goes 1, 2, and
Yeah.
what a
That could potentially be one of the. Oh, there's so many good shots, but that to me is just
it's one of the best shots
ultimate-
I've seen. Like I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's incredible. It was you that was saying he has 0 bounce on that 60
No, that's Phil Mickelson.
film. Oh, that's even stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, that was ridiculous. But chipping off a green, I just don't get. I couldn't physically bring myself to do it. It looks
No.
pretty cool.
So yesterday, actually, at Twin Waters, for one of probably the first times in the time I've ever played golf, I was on the green, but the fringe come over the green and
You needed to chip.
Yes. So we were looking at it, and it's like a decent golfer could
Would chip
probably
this.
just have a chip at it. Yeah. Not me, mate. Just putt straight over the rough.
Straight
Yeah.
over the rough. Would you have chipped it if you were in the same spot, Ron? No.
No, I would have part of it as well.
Have you ever chipped off a green in any sort of
I
format?
think so. Mustn't have been great because I don't remember it, but I think that it would have been that sort of situation. But I think there's sometimes where you have to have permission. Like, you're not allowed to do it at clubs. Like, most of the time, but a pro can,
Yeah, that probably checks out.
which makes sense.
Yeah,
Just
I wouldn't be
dip
allowed.
it.
Yeah, I would certainly not be bringing a wedge out on a green if I wasn't a professional.
Oh, no
The
way.
best part about me with a wedge is I don't normally touch the ground. So
Yeah,
It's,
true.
um,
You're just going to top the ball anyway. Just
Yeah,
belly it
throat
anyway.
punch it.
Throat punch the shit out of it.
Hammer, here's a rule that I learned today as well. I asked Chopper. I guess it's probably common knowledge, maybe, but when you attack a green with a wedge and it just comes up short and it hits into the first cut and it sits there, and then you're only, say, 2 foot off the green and you
Yep.
take a putt, but that divot is between your ball and the green and your target line, you cannot fix that divot.
Really?
The pitch mark. You can't fix it. No.
Why
You
not?
can't stand on it and flatten it.
How come?
Because you're what's the
I
term?
don't know. I think it's staying like along like
Advancing.
testing your line, or I don't know what it is. If it's on the green, you can repair it.
Wow.
I don't know if this has changed. I remember it being a rule in match play when I was a kid.
No, you know one thing that I
Nah.
do like. It's like we just back it
We
in.
back,
Whatever.
we back ourselves in.
It's,
Like, we're the
page
fastest
4.
growing. We're the fastest growing golf podcast in the world. The fastest growing podcast in the world, actually. So that's pretty cool. I actually
There's another
lead.
rule.
Yep, go for it.
Sorry, another rule. So, old mate hit it into a hazard today. Or the ball went and it went towards a hazard, and he wanted to hit a provisional.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. No. Well, this is during the Mulligan game, right?
Okay.
Mate, I'm telling you, we're lucky we're not. We're lucky we're sitting on the same couch after that.
Sure.
Hang on.
Okay.
He wanted to hit a provisional, and I said to him, if a ball goes in the hazard, you either get to hit it from where you hit that shot, which would have been on the tee, or
Yep.
you go like it went in through the red line
Yep.
and I take your club out. So
Yep.
like pretty much if you now tee off now with that ball, you're using that first option.
Mhm.
Which is true, yes?
I think so. Yeah.
Because I said to him, what if you go, I'm hitting a provisional, snipe it left, and then go, no, I'm going to do the drop near the red stake. Like you could just cheat, basically.
I'll cheat.
Yeah, no. There's a part there I thought, oh, we'll let him cheat.
So
Nah.
it's interesting because, I don't know. So that leads me into. Actually, it's a great segue. I had this segment ready to go a couple of weeks ago and then never really brought it up because we were just busy. I wanted to bring up, because people send me stuff quite a bit on like obscure rules that don't really get implemented a lot. And I wanted to bring up I wanted to introduce a segment where I would bring a new one in every week or bring
Yeah.
and so I saw this one. I've been sent this a lot recently, and I'm sure you guys might have seen it. A guy is putting. I've done this before. Putting, I've got a downhill putt, a bunker behind the green. I'm 10 feet away, and I blast my putt into the bunker. I have got the option of picking that ball up out of the bunker and just putting it back where I put it
Yes.
for one stroke, as opposed to trying to take a bunker shot and go up and down.
Yep. Oh, have you not heard this?
No.
Oh my goodness.
So that's a
man.
rule. You can take a putt. So I'm 10 foot behind the hole, let's say. I've got to look at a par. I putt into the bunker for my fourth. I blast it past. I've got the read. And I just think, instead of trying to go up and down that would be a 5 and a 6, I can just take that putt for an additional shot so I can putt for 6. as opposed to risking thinning it out of the bunker and having a 10.
That is a dead
Stroke and distance.
I've seen that. And I've also seen another one that if I'm in a bunker, now I'll probably get these numbers mixed up because I had a couple of Gatorades.
Yep.
The ball is in the bunker and I blade it straight over.
Yeah.
I can then take it back for a shot because, oh man, we really need to find the rules out. But it's the same as if I hit a shot into a bunker and I'm like, well, I'm short-sided, I can't get out of a bunker. I can just replay it from where I'm at.
It's called stroke and distance. You can take stroke and distance.
That's two-shot penalty.
I don't think it is, mate.
Stroke and distance.
I don't think so.
Nah, so it's not. It's if you can take stroke and distance as an unplayable lie. So you only get the +1 shot. If you haven't lost your ball in an out of bounds area, you can take stroke and distance for 1.
We 100% should have fact checked that one.
No, I'm certain. I'm positive.
Back it in, but yeah, no, it's. I've seen a bunch of like viral reels about
I
it.
need to watch one and see.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'll tell you, this was another one that I thought was just exceptional. If you're a right-hander and you've got a ball wedged between a tree and it's up against the the right-hand side of a tree, so you don't get a shot at it, but there's a cart path on the left, you can set up as a left-hander. The cart path would then be interfering with your stance as a left-hander. You get a free drop of which you can then take as a right-hander.
See, this is the stuff that, like, especially
how good is that?
This is the stuff that you need to know, and now this is why Jordan Spieth won the 2017 Open, because he took distance back. He took an unplayable. He took a distance back, which put him between the Titleist, the TaylorMade ping trucks, which was a movable object, whatever it is, and then he got to go on the. That is why he won, because they know the rules.
You know the rules.
When you get those people that know the rule and they're not pushing it, this is where you can take a shot left-handed off a cart path.
Yeah,
and
you can
relief.
set up left-handed as a right-hander, and that qualifies you to have relief from a cart path, of which you can then take your relief but hit as a right-hander. It's a brilliant rule.
So I know a couple rules officials actually. One of them happens to be the GM at the West Australian Golf Club, Damien.
Hello, Damien.
Rules official. I think that maybe we put a couple of questions to him.
Yeah.
And maybe he would know a couple of odd ones like that as well.
I reckon what we can do, and this is what I'm going to do to set it up when I go ahead with this segment, I want to do 2 rules and a lie. So I'm going to make, for you guys, I'm going to have 2 obscure rules and then one that's just made up, and you guys have got to guess the made up one. Or the other way around. One actual rule and 2 ones that aren't real. I'd like to throw that in there.
Going back to that stroke and distance, this is why it's confused me, because do you remember that they brought in that rule where clubs could use it if you want to? Can
you see that, guys?
No.
Okay, well, I'll read it. Stroke and distance relief. Ball lost. You go first, Ron, and then I'll go.
Well, I heard that you just say you hit it out of bounds. If the club likes stroke and distance, you walk to where the ball went out of bounds. You come out into the fairway.
Yep.
But you are now hitting your 4th shot.
Oh, too many.
Yeah. So here it is. At relief under penalty of stroke and distance allowed at any time. At any time, a player may take stroke and distance relief by adding 1 penalty stroke and playing the original ball or another ball from where the previous stroke was made. The player always has this stroke and distance relief option, no matter where the player's ball is on the course, and even when a rule requires a player to take relief in a certain way to play a ball from a certain place. So you can always take stroke and distance for a 1 penalty stroke.
So mulligan. So it's exactly a mulligan.
It's a mulligan. So you can have a mulligan for a plus
a mulligan.
Mulligan is free.
So here's a scenario for you, Hammer. I am 125 metres out. There's a bunker left and right front of the green.
Gee whiz.
And you do not want to be in either of those bunkers, or especially in front of the bunkers, having to go over the bunker to the green, right? I hit my pitching wedge. It comes up short and goes in one of the bunkers or in one in front of them. Yep. I go stroke and distance. I'm going to add a shot because I know I will not get up and down.
Yep.
I then hit a 9-iron onto the green. I've just added 1 shot for the stroke,
correct.
Like the penalty. I'm now on the green with my second shot with
correct.
a 9-iron, and I can potentially make a 1 putt and have a par, whatever. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Mate, I will implement that into any game that I play against you ever again. I promise you that.
Right. So
it is confusing me because now that I'm thinking about it, if I hit a bad tee shot, I could just take stroke and distance and hit. No, because I'd be hitting 3. No, I'd be hitting 2. No, I'd be hitting 3.
What do you think's happening? Hang on.
I don't know.
yeah,
I'm confusing myself.
Yeah, I reckon we find.
You hit your second shot into the bunker, right? You go stroke and distance, drop 3, now you're hitting 4.
Yes, that's what I think's happening.
Yeah,
so when I
that's
said par, I
definitely
shouldn't have said-
definitely what's happening.
Okay, you
But you can do, you can just. All I'm saying is you can do that on the green.
Yeah,
Yes.
all right,
You
we
can,
went.
yeah. The whole
Yeah.
idea of the rule is you can stroke and distance +1 on the green. That makes
I
sense.
love it.
And here we are.
But yeah,
And we're back.
implement, do that segment, Hammer, because that is very, very good. I
Yeah.
love the idea. Of
I
that.
like one. I'm going to have one rule in there that's obscure, and then I'm going to have 2 furfies, and you guys are going to pick the actual PGA golf rule.
Okay, Hammer.
Well, hang on.
this is
Just before we keep going, just before we keep going, what have you got in your hand there? What's that?
It is. It's the Uber Eats bag that I've just ripped up. That I've taken the notes down because I've got a couple of things I want to talk
Sure,
about.
let's do it.
And my phone's currently being used
Yeah,
to
of course.
stream
To
this,
film,
so I've had to write on the pizza
How much
box
charge
paper.
have you got on the phone?
1,000,000%,
Oh,
mate.
perfect.
We got plenty of time.
Brilliant.
Okay, so Patreon patrons met a patron last night. Met a
Oh,
bloke
yep.
that's in the
Beautiful.
swingers. So Chopper and I went to Sunshine Coast Indoor Golf Centre
Yep.
last night, and we did a bit of a talk
Beautiful.
night. It was, Chopper and I sat up the front and spoke to about 50, 60 people.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
It was very cool. It was very cool.
Yeah. Walked in there, a bunch of people wanting photos and signing
Yeah,
balls.
I was there. Did you not see that photo that we all took
We did,
together?
yes. It's good to see you.
That was a very good Photoshop.
That's
Camera.
great.
I did enjoy that. But yeah, so walked in and met a couple of patrons actually. And then we did a bit of Q&A with the crowd. And one bloke asked a question to ask you.
Yep.
He said, I Googled Hammer.
Yep.
And on Wikipedia, it says he's a multiple Guinness World Record holder.
Yes. Did you not know this?
No,
I did, but
Okay.
I didn't.
So
Okay.
you didn't?
I yelled out bullshit when he said it.
No, it's true. It's not. Well, when you say Guinness World Record, I haven't officially got in the book because that costs like a lot of money and it's a lot of time. But like I have unofficially, but on film, broken 6 world records.
Oh, really?
What's your best one?
No, tell us all 6, but go from worst to best, actually.
Yes.
They're all incredible. I'm going to go in chronological order because that's probably the easiest way to do it. The first one that I broke was the fastest time to type the alphabet with my nose. So I did that, and then it has since been broken by an Indian gentleman out of South Australia. So he has since knocked that one off, which was disappointing. I then broke the fastest time to remove 5 Jenga blocks with my tongue. That has since been beaten by a Brazilian gentleman. That same Brazilian gentleman took the record that I held for fastest time to stack 10 books and knock them over with one hand. He beat me with that one. No one, to my knowledge, has beaten my Guinness World Record for the most blueberries eaten in 3 minutes at about,
How many?
I think it was 326.
Whoa.
And so no one's beaten that. No one, to my knowledge, has beaten my most coin flips in 30 seconds, which was a really, really easy record, actually. I just sat here and did 44 of them in 30 seconds. And then
Cooking, Mark.
yeah, it was cooking. I was really cooking with gas. You should do it with your shop mates. See how many times you can flip that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And then the 6th record, which I don't think anyone has beaten, was the fastest time to drink a litre of pasta sauce through a straw.
Oh.
Which I did in about 40-something seconds, Jaden, I reckon. 48, 47 seconds. So they're my 6, a few of which have been beaten.
Well done, mate.
Thank you.
I didn't think that was going that way.
What if you were to say, okay, what's Hammer's world record? What was it in your head?
Oh, like, I don't know, like some gym workout.
Yeah,
Solid, yeah.
biggest drive, longest drive.
Well, speaking of longest drive at the indoor golf centre last night, a fella hit a 308 metre drive.
Oh.
Chopper.
Did he use his 3-wood? Was it a 2-iron? Was that you're obviously laying up?
Chopper, not happy about it. Puts his driver down to 7 degrees.
Oh, yeah,
I
nice.
cheated a little bit, yeah.
And just ripped
Slowed
it.
down.
320 metres.
Got him, yes.
I wasn't happy.
I was at X Golf, I reckon, and we'd played the game and we were sort of mucking around at the end, and when I swing, you've seen Will swing. We're all there and we swing it quite violently. So when you're just in a group of people that haven't seen you swing before, it can sort of draw a bit of attention. And I thought it would be hilarious to to go into the driving range setting, go completely downwind, and so that it doesn't show up anything and just hit bombs. So I'm hitting these drives that are going like 380 meters on the simulator. Everyone's looking at me thinking, "Shit, this guy's pumping him," and I've got the wind set at like 25 miles an hour going down breeze.
Hey, you should enter the water very often.
Yeah, it was great. So, that is nice. But at the we went to the Hammersley driving range for the BackChat Christmas party last year, which we'll obviously all be invited to, and it'll be great. But we went and we're just hitting bombs, and I was doing the full Happy Gilmore swing, and I was getting them out there, like 320, 330. They were going big. So,
Do you reckon you can hit it further doing Happy Gilmore?
I think you can, definitely.
I reckon.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got the flexibility to do it. I'll try, but
I think the Mythbusters guys did a thing. I can't remember what professional they got in, or maybe it was ESPN Sports Science's John Brankus. Rest in peace. Actually, he passed away not long ago. So sorry about that, John. But he did. It was one of those two. ESPN Sports Science or Mythbusters did the Happy Gilmore versus the typical swing breakdown, and I think if executed properly, the Happy Gilmore gets you more distance.
Right. It makes sense. Must be dodgy though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You have a look at the long drivers. What's the guy who his leg like full
Kyle
comes
Berkshire.
Oh no, the guy that swings his front leg like an ex-baseball
Oh
player.
yeah. He's that one. What about the guy who does like the out halfway back and then goes again? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I think he might have the Guinness World Record for swing speed and ball speed as well.
Yeah.
I reckon Berkshire might have beaten him. I saw a video of him hitting at 575 yards the other day at somewhere in Arizona where it was howling breeze at whatever altitude. So probably cheating.
Anyone can do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I could probably do that with a pitching wedge. What else is on the Uber Eats bag?
Oh God, I've got loads, mate. There's plenty to talk about. No, that's it.
So I put out obviously that photo of us was a really good one. So we put up a hypothetical today. I don't know if you've got one, but I put the question out to the people and we had a couple. Someone just said Ron wins the Masters ? Probably not.
What? No.
Well, that's
today.
From Cade Diloretto, I think that's a tough one. From Sam Harvey, he says, would you rather get to play Augusta once or St Andrews once every 2 years?
That is a very good question.
Well, I think with St Andrews, you can just line up and play there.
I would play Masters once.
I'd play Augusta once, I think.
Yeah, I'd play Augusta once.
I think as much as it's St Andrews, unless we play it, but it's the first and the 18th and maybe the road hole 17 that are the famous. After that, it's like you're waiting to get to those holes. Yeah. Whereas the Masters, you're just like, wow.
I've also seen like people will just go and have a picnic at the old course.
Yeah, it's closed on Sundays.
Yeah, so
crazy. You can just go there. What about that same thing? Play Augusta once or play Cypress Point once every 2 years? Because that's a course that you need to be a member at, isn't it? Cypress Point. How do you
it's
get
the best in the world, isn't it?
Yeah, it's number one in the world. That's a very exclusive golf club.
I feel like the Masters still
logistically, I probably can't afford to go fly twice, so I'm just going to go once to the Masters.
Play once to the Masters. That's fine. Would you rather play golf for a living but never break 90 or be scratch but can only play once a month? Oh, that's tough.
I think I don't play golf for a living. I'd like to say I do, but I actually have a job, and I'm already doing the first golf.
Yeah, you're already shooting 90 and playing as much as
I'd like to be scratched, so maybe I'll play once before.
That's you.
I'm doing the second option.
Yeah, you are playing once a month, but being
the other
scratched.
option, I play once a month and
I
play a scratch.
Yeah.
And the last one that I've got here, what would Joel's handicap be if he had a short game?
We talk about this a fair bit, and I definitely don't want to get too big-headed on myself, but I think if I had just a reasonable, I'm a 4 or 5 handicapper.
Yeah, I like that.
Because my handicap, and it is going up, I'm looking at double figures very shortly. I've got 3 flags coming off, currently sitting at 7.7, but they're my 3 best rounds too.
Yeah,
so,
that hurts.
Yesterday, for 9 holes, Joel could hit a tidy little 1 meter draw, and we didn't know what to do.
I'd hit it and I'd like look back at the camera and I'm like,
Did we get that?
what's going on here?
I was on the trace cam and I didn't have to move, whereas normally I have to go.
Yeah, normally have to follow it up and right.
But then I hit one of the most incredible short game flop shots you will ever see in your life, and I'm definitely not going to spoil it. Hammer, mate, you will be in stitches when you see it.
This would be a good one to ask Hammer.
Yep.
If Joel was rocking a putter chipper, what would you think of him?
No. I think far less of you for rocking a putter chipper.
Yeah, but then you beat him and take his money.
Yeah, so the discussion has come up in recent times. Actually, this is probably a good one to put.
My dad has it. My dad had a putter chipper for a bit.
He's a great bloke as well.
Yeah, no, he is, and loves the loves the lads, loves what you guys are doing. But he
I
has
like your old man. Maybe I'll get a putter chipper. If he's got one, maybe I can.
Yeah,
get
he
one.
had. I don't think he has it anymore. Actually, no, he definitely still has it. He definitely still has it.
But so this is probably a good one. Okay, if you're watching this on YouTube, actually you can comment on Spotify. So if you can comment on any platform that you're watching or listening, comment whether you think I should get a putter chipper, because the discussion came up a fair bit yesterday, right? My short game is at the point now where it's sad. It's not funny. It's sad, right? So if I can just I will putt through 15 meters of heavy rough.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yes, right. Now that's a putter chipper and I get it out and it rolls onto the green.
Oh, how about this for a different point of view? What about you get a left-handed wedge and you learn how to chip again, but left-handed, and that is your mode of chipping, because you don't have the yips, you're left-handed, you're going to have to relearn everything and just chip left-handed.
You know what? That is not even the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I reckon you could chip one-handed.
I could probably go one-handed. The left-hand is still probably not a bad idea, because it is to the point now where, if I happen to get a putter chipper and it is the thing that saves me, I think even with a putter chipper, I could probably be a 6 to a 5
So
handicap.
my correlation with that, or my reverse, is I have the same thing. So my driving has always been my letdown. I just want to hit the ball 300 metres every time, and it never works, and I've always been really bad at it. I broke my driver about 2 years ago and didn't have one for 6 months, and my handicap went from a 13 to a 7.5. Because I just could, I was hitting hybrids, I was hitting irons off tees, I wasn't missing many fairways, and I just kept coming down. I've since got the driver, and I'm straight back up to an 11 or whatever I'm at, 10.5.
It's not as fun though. You play golf.
Exactly. You play, and you also play golf to just open it up and hit a massive flop shot 3 meters from the green.
Oh. That's exactly.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. So yeah, I comment on this whether or not Joel should get a putter chipper. My vote is no, but anyway, we'll see.
To be honest, my vote is also no. But if that is the thing that just
if it saves you, it saves you.
Yeah.
I had so there was a few more hypotheticals out there. One more that I did have was: would you rather win your pennant match by a large amount, like 7 and 6, or win on the last hole by sticking your approach to a foot and tapping in for a birdie? I think you'd do the last one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I hate pressure so much. I would just, I would rather lose the most amount that you can lose. What's that, 9 and 8 or 10 and 8 or whatever? I'd rather just lose and have it done with.
Or it goes to 9 and 9 dormant, and you just shake hands and walk off.
Yeah, mate, honestly, I hate, I've never been that sort of person. I just want to have fun. In my whole
winning's
life,
fun.
Pardon?
Winning is fun.
Yeah, losing also sucks big time.
Exactly.
It is the worst thing. Yeah.
And here you are saying you want to lose 10 and 8. What do you
Yeah, but the pressure that comes with that, it's normally in pressure moments I step up. But it's just the bliss event, mate.
Oh, mate, come on!
That's true.
You've got to let it go.
It hasn't been 12 months.
Yeah, but come on.
Yeah.
No, I would just rather have it done, over and done with.
Fair enough.
Go home,
I'd rather
go
win it
and
on the
have a
last. I'd rather stick it to a foot and tap in for a birdie on the last and give it.
Oh yeah,
plenty.
And everyone's there.
Yeah.
There's high fives. You've gone to war and you've won on the last.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah, take it to the Ryder Cup. You'd rather be the one where everyone's watching you put it in and celebrating than being the one watching because you've already won, I think.
People would talk about that, you handled the pressure and whatnot.
Yeah.
It is. And to be honest, there was actually one scenario in that where it came down to the second last hole. We played it in reverse. So I was actually on the, and it was 17. It's the par 3 at Secret Harbour. is that, I can't remember if that's 17 or.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but it's the second last hole.
Yeah.
You got to hit all the way over water. And I was 1 up on that tee box. And I've put it to probably 15 foot.
Huge.
And lovely. I was like, beautiful. I'm on the green. I'm not in the water. It just all comes down to this bloke. Now, I was the last group coming in. So everybody
Everyone's
from both
watching.
teams was surrounded around the green. The fella I played against, he was actually a really good bloke. And he's just dunked it straight in the water. And just that moment for me, actually thinking about it now, it's like, you know what? I want to win on the last.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly. You want to win it on the last. God, yeah, you do.
Do you reckon playing, like doing YouTube videos and playing in front of a lot of people helps you play in front of a crowd now? Like doesn't affect you as much as it would have?
No, so what happened, I've always been exactly the way I am now. Even now, I get nervous on the first tee at Kwinana at 6:54, first tee, and like 6 people stand around me. I was as nervous as I was then, as if I was at that pennant match.
Yeah.
I always have this level of nerve in me, not to the point where I'm like shaking and scared.
Yeah.
But I'm sort of so used to it now that it's like
You
I
just live with the
in that
nerve.
area.
Yeah, live in it. See, I live in the confidence of having 50 points, but also in the same breath, not knowing where the ball's going to go. It's terrifying.
Do you get nervous?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I'd still get nervous. I'm probably better now, but I'd still get nervous. You get enough people there.
Do you get more nervous? Do you get more nervous over, this is not a hypothetical, but the question, do you get more nervous over a 3 to 5 foot putt? Or
Yep.
Yes.
Or
The answer's yes.
Don't even put a second option. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. A 3 to 5 foot putt. Well, this would be a question for everyone then. A 3 to 5 foot putt or a 100-meter shot over water to a island green.
No, give me the island green.
Well, funny, you had the exact same thing today on the one hole.
Yeah. See, give me the putt. I'd take the putt. I just always say to myself, what water or what bunker? But if I'm hitting over anything, it's like, I know it's there. I know exactly what's in front of me. And it's going to be my ball probably in it.
Too many times today, I was short-sighted with a bunker in front of me. Too many times.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah. We spent a long time on one particular par 5 because we both capitulated. And it was the funniest things.
We're hoping it's comedy gold. We're hoping people have a laugh.
Okay.
And
I'm sure we will. What else is on your on the Uber Eats packet?
This is it's probably an easy question, but a tough one. You've got 4. Okay, bucket list. Yep. Australian golf courses. You're on a golf trip.
Yep.
You're going to play 4 golf courses with 2 or 3 of your best mates.
Yep.
You're going to 4 golf courses. Which state are you going to? You don't have to tell me the courses, but which state are you going to?
That's a really good question because I think I reckon I've played a majority of the good courses. I've played enough of the good courses in Victoria to not go there because I would have.
Because you've ticked them off.
Because I've already ticked them off. I think it's between New South Wales and South Australia. But if I can just play the best courses, like the Australian.
Where haven't you played? Like, what's the course that you haven't ticked off in Melbourne?
In Melbourne, I haven't played PK, and that's the big one. I haven't played the Capital Golf Course, which is like have you heard of that one? Have you seen that one? You have to drive in behind Golden Gates to get in there. It's ridiculous.
I don't think you can get.
No,
I don't think
it's it's hard to get on. So, but dream bucket list, you can do that. They're probably the 2 big ones that I haven't played. But I haven't played any golf in New South Wales or any golf in Adelaide, for that matter. So, the Grange, Kooyonga, or New South Wales. I think I'm going to go New South Wales. Give me New South Wales for my 4.
What courses? Now I'm curious. Well, give me just one of the courses you want to go and play then.
I want to play the Australian. I want to play. Is it Royal? Is it New South Wales Golf Course?
Yeah.
I want to play Concord.
Never heard of Concord. Yeah.
And then what else would I play? There's what's the Royal over there? What's the Royal over there? Royal Sydney?
Yep, Royal Sydney.
There's 4.
Yep.
As opposed to playing Adelaide, where it would be Royal Adelaide, the Grange, Kooyonga. One of those courses has got 2, I think. One of those courses has got a north, south, or an east, west.
Oh, the Grange.
Yeah, the
The
Grange.
Grange. So I'd play
yeah.
both of those. Yeah, that would be my
Yeah.
four at both. But I would do New South Wales. So that's what I would choose. What about you?
You go.
Well, I want to go to Tassie. I want to see the
Oh,
Tassie courses.
I have
to be
missed
honest.
down a big one.
Yeah,
Both Barnboogles, King Island. Shit.
Yeah. I'm thinking boys trip, and you just stay there, don't you? Don't you stay on the course?
Yeah, you can stay on course.
That would be unreal, that trip. But mint weather the whole time, obviously.
Yeah,
not the
best weather, no wind,
horror
perfect.
stories I've heard.
Yeah, okay.
What do you think?
I don't know. To me, I remember going to Adelaide and I remember thinking this is just a full sleeper destination. This is like it was every place we went to. It was like, oh my goodness. See, I am picking South Australia because I want to go and play Royal Adelaide again.
Yeah,
Well, I didn't play it when we were there, but I want to go back there and I want to play. I don't want it to be on camera. I just want to have Stableford round at Royal Adelaide. So South Australia for me.
yeah, that's fair enough. Is that where you did the? That's where you went and filmed with Rick over there.
Grange. Yeah,
The
that
Grange,
was
yeah.
That was the Grange. Yeah.
Once again, I want to ask you about Rick, but I feel like we'll save it until we're back in the studio.
Yeah, I think that's an in-person one because I'd also like to ask about that.
Even last night, like at this Q&A, there was one of the first questions was what was it like with Rick? So we'll save that
Next week. Address it next week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Address
address it next week. We're all going to be back in the studio next week. Is that correct? Everyone's back in town.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. And then we're locking down the fort for a bit then, I think, aren't we? No one's going anywhere, or no one's got you.
No, we're going to be after this trip. After these videos, this is like 10 videos in the bank. We'll be
golden.
2 months of stuff. We'll be home for good for a while now, I think.
Yeah.
Plus, we're also thinking about doing a bit of a WA leg. So just for like the Ron Chopper videos, we're thinking about doing like a mini. We talk about with like a mini tournament type thing, like a little what's it called? Like
What are you talking about?
yeah, I don't know. These Gatorades are going.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, you guys are coming home. That's
full
good.
of electrolytes.
That's good.
No, how are we going to go and play like 5-6 golf courses and then finish up at Joondalup?
Are we?
Apparently not.
Oh.
Apparently not.
Mate, Joel thought we were going to Adelaide until we were in the plane.
Literally,
He has had an absolute shocker on this trip.
I've been so busy leading up to this trip that I have been, mate. Some of us work, right? Can't all sit on a golf course all day.
Yeah, exactly. We can't do that for fun. Someone's got to have 11 jobs.
Yeah,
Brothers swings.
it was like 3 days before we left. I was like, "Oh, we're going Brizzy."
We're going prison.
Yeah, I'm not there.
So I've got one other thing for us before I had this. I had a couple of things sent in to me. So we'll get to some emails. We'll get to some stuff. I had a few things like sent in, a couple of questions asked. I had a guy just send me a video of his butcher cutting up a big chunk of meat, which I assumed was probably the oyster blade or whatever the one
Just a blade, yeah.
you asked for. Yeah. And I just like this guy that was in the butcher shop, just like filming around and then just like zoomed in at the back and the butcher was just like carving up this big chunk of meat, which was exceptional.
He messaged me and said, I'll never take golf or swing advice from you, but I'll take butcher advice from you. And you know what? I'm not here to give tips on golf. That's not
You're
me.
here to give butcher tips. The other question I had that I actually found quite interesting because I know a lot of guys in football have these, but superstitions before golf. So a lot of guys that I know from football have superstitions the night before a game, whether it be eat the same thing, you eat the same thing the morning of, you do the same sort of routine. Does anyone, Ron or Joel, do you have a pre-golf routine? As in like a superstition sort of thing from the moment you wake up to the moment you get to the course?
I remember when I was playing like a pro-am circuit and I was driving to the golf course. This is how bad I was going. I remember if I was driving there and if I was getting red lights, I was like, they don't want to be there. This is a sign. This is a sign. I'm not meant to play. But other than that, tees in the pocket, a ball marker in the pocket, and let's hit it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, one thing you do, if you hit a tee shot and your tee's snapped, but it's slightly, like it's just got a little fracture in it,
Yep.
would you just go again with it and just wait till you really kill it?
Yeah, if it's only a slight little fracture, I would readjust it.
And when you go on a par 3, if you've got like a tee, not a massive long tee, but like a normal tee, you just use that, put it in the ground, hit away.
Yeah, or I find a little clipping that's on the floor and use that.
He grabs a brand newie and he'll snap it.
No.
That's
Don't go and say I grab a
ridiculous.
brand new. It's not like I'm.
What do you mean? It's
No,
not hand.
no, but it's not like I'm just walking around with pockets full of brand new tees, right?
You snap tees all day.
I will snap a tee, but not every tee. If I can't find the perfect one that is snapped, I will snap a brand new one. But I'm not actively just walking in my bag and going back.
Give me a brand new and snap that.
Yeah. Like it's not a power move. Like I'm just rolling around.
Yeah, with a million tees.
Yeah.
But you could have just pushed that tee down and if you hit.
No. Mate, it's like hitting into like a bit of Rio bar of a foundation of a building. Like it's going this far into the ground. My 4-iron isn't getting through that tee.
No, that's hitting the ground 4 foot before the tee. That's that problem.
No, that's compressing the ball, mate.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's see, I don't have a heap of superstition before golf. I had I'll do the same thing on the putting green every time before I play. Like I'll take 3 balls out and as soon as I make 2 in a row, like I'm done. Even if it's my first 2 putts, I'll take them and go. One that I did have, and I sort of will do this pretty much regularly now. I'll cut my nails before a round of golf.
Oh.
I cut my nails. Like if my nails are too long, I have to cut them because I feel like I itch myself or like it feels awkward on my hands if I'm gripping it with it when I've got nails. Same as my toenails. I remember one day. Oh, what are you doing?
Are you cramping?
Oh no.
Joel's cramping. Yes.
No, it's not there. It's going to grab, but it's not there. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Oh, Hammer. It's been
a time. I can see. Look, just tilt the camera a little bit left. Look at the bottles of wine and stuff on the bench. The boys are having a day. Gatorade. Sorry. Look at the bottles of Gatorade. Shit, that's funny. Joel, there you are. Oh, you've just turned the camera off. But yeah, so I will do I'll cut my nails because I don't like them itching. I remember one time when I first got my new pair of golf shoes, I hadn't my toenails cut in and I was bleeding by the end of it because they were so tight. So I don't want any toenail clippings to dig into the side of my feet, so I'll cut them. But apart from that, not really too many other superstitions. So for anyone else out there listening, maybe that's something you can write in. Any pre-golf superstitions that you do before a game, before a round, because there's some interesting. There's a lot of people that have some funny things to say.
I remember playing with a pro, and he would have his tees, ball marker, everything in his pocket. He would get to the green, and he would get his buggy, turn the lid open, take it all out, and put it back in his bag. Shut the lid, go have a putt, get to the tee, open it up, put it all back into his pocket. He could hit, but you just couldn't putt with them in your pocket.
Yeah.
So I can't have my phone in my. This is during the game, pre-game. I don't really have any superstitions, but
I've got one. You do?
I've got a fair few actually, and it's getting to the point where I've got to start actively pushing them out because it's starting cooking mentally. Can't ever have my phone in my pocket. I can't have anything in my pocket that is not exactly
golf related.
to what I want.
Yep.
Your tee, your
of course.
I cannot walk through a tee box.
Red tees.
Any tee.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
really? Can't walk through.
Wow. If I hit and my tee goes through the blue tee marker,
you've lost it.
No, I can walk through it, but then I have to walk back out of it. Yeah.
Wow.
It's weird. So I can't walk off a tee box. I can't walk through it
and continue on.
Yeah, and continue on. I have to come back out of it.
Wow.
I'm sure there's other people.
That feels like that's respectful.
Yeah, let's go with that.
I'm that sure sounds like it's respect.
There's other people out there that would be in the same boat. I guarantee you, because it feels.
It's a bit like when you're walking on the concrete, you don't want to walk on the cracks.
Yes, I see people put their MGI buggies through.
Oh, that would drive you insane, wouldn't it?
It does. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Stop! You cannot possibly.
When we play a match with each other, I'm just going to purposely walk through all of them. just to cook you.
Yeah. That'll have me done.
Oh, that's good. So anyone else who's got pre-game superstitions, in-game superstitions, let us know because they are quite funny. Anything else on your list? Because I've got a few emails. Yeah, hit me up with what's on your list first.
This will be a quick one because I already know what mine's going to be. But
okay.
Best advice that you've been given whilst on the golf course. You think of anything off the top of your head? While you're thinking, I'll tell you mine. So,
yeah, you go for it.
This will be something I told you, no doubt.
No, I'll just change.
Tell the people.
I'll tell the people what I. No. I'll change your name to Reese, right?
Okay.
So we're playing. We're just playing some holes. I'm on a second hole at Banana, and I get a shot on that hole, and I'm on the right hand side. I've got to hit a draw. Can't hit now. I can hit draws, but couldn't hit a draw previously. And I had to basically hit that miracle shot. I get a shot on that hole, and I said to him, Reese, what do you reckon I do? He just says, do you get a shot on the hole? And I was like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, I'll punch out and take advantage of the fact that I get a shot on that hole. I hit it to 140, punch out, and then ideally I try and get up and down from there. But worst case, I get up with the two putt and I take my 5 for 2, take my medicine and walk off. That was probably very good advice that I've received.
Best advice I received, I was playing at Springview or Spring Lake golf course in Dingley. It's like a little 9-hole track that you can play twice. This was years ago. Me and my mate Joel were playing, and we got paired with this random dude who was very good. I think he was off like scratch or maybe one, and we were battling off 30. Anyway, I had this putt, and I'm putting the ball from 10, 15 meters away, and I'm over it, and I'm like looking at the hole, I'm looking at the ball, I'm just sort of like doing these practice putts, having no real idea how far I'm going to hit it or how close I'm going to hit it. And he goes, what are you thinking about? Just stop me before I putt it. And I was like, what? He's like, what are you thinking about there? I was like, oh, nothing really. He goes, do you play sport? And I was like, yep, play cricket, play footy. He's like, if you were throwing a tennis ball at that hole or a cricket ball at that hole, what would you be thinking when you're playing bocce or lawn bowls or anything? I was like, okay, probably I can gauge how far I need to throw that. He's like, just imagine you're doing that, but the golf ball is that ball. So like, just try and get it close. Don't worry about getting it in. He was like, just imagine when you're looking and lining up your practice putt, imagine the feeling of like rolling a ball there and getting it close, and then use that power on the golf ball. And I was 12 or 13 playing with this random bloke who I'd never met. And I was like, that to me at the time made a lot of sense. Like, you can look at if you're playing a different sport or not playing golf, and I just needed to throw a ball and get it close, I could do that. So just feel that, but with a putt, if that makes any sense. That was my advice that I was like, that was really good at the time.
I reckon I could throw a golf ball closer to a hole than what you could.
Oh. No, you couldn't.
I reckon I could.
No way.
Before you two, do you want to hear my one?
Of course.
No, so,
yeah, you go.
No, I believe it is. I'm just more.
I think this would help Hammer.
Okay.
So my first handicap was 18 when I was 12 years old, and the pro told me, he said, you get a shot every hole. Yeah. And I was like, at the time, I was like, oh, okay. So I think I understand that. And he goes, the best way to think of it is you're standing on a par 4, pretend your first shot doesn't count, you tee off, and wherever that ball ends up, now it's a par 4. And he said it helps with off the tee jitters because you almost go, well, this doesn't count.
That's a mulligan. I get a mulligan off the tee.
Yeah, it felt like this doesn't count. It's going to go down there somewhere, and wherever it lands, now I'm playing par 4. So if I hit it straight, now I'm playing 120-meter par 4. And
I like that.
Off the tee, you go, oh, cool, doesn't matter, whack.
Yeah, I do like that. That actually would help me.
Yeah.
But I definitely would throw the ball closer than you.
I did. When we play the cut, it's 3 holes per 9, 6 holes total. Let's have a little throwing contest.
Yeah, okay.
Mate, he's a good dart player, so I feel like this is in your wheelhouse. It's so weird that you're good at darts and little like touchy things, and then you get a sandwich in your hand. It's probably the best hand-eye coordination in the Southern Hemisphere. But
that's facts. We do love facts in this podcast, don't we?
And that has been fact checked.
Yeah, that's fact checked.
Hammer, I reckon.
Yep.
What do you like at darts then?
I'm not very good at darts.
I'd beat you in the throwing contest, I guarantee.
Well, you just wouldn't because you're I'm underarm. I'm looking at that real. I'm touch and feel.
Did you say I'd throw them underarm?
No, I would. I'm touch and feel. No, you don't have to. You can throw it however you want.
Okay. Would you do? Yep. I'd go. I'd do like that, mate. Overarm, or not overarm, but like a dart throw. Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen him bowl a cricket ball. I don't think I've got much to worry about.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm pretty sure I'd be you. Anyway, that's fine. We can do that. We can do that out of the cut. We can definitely look to do that. Anything else before I hit to these email submissions that we got?
No, that's me, mate.
Your list was probably more important because you wrote it on an Uber Eats. What did you get? What was the food, by the way?
Spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah, he got a spag bowl. We got a fettuccine, and then we got a margarita pizza as well. We got Hilly with us as well. He's on the camera.
Oh, beautiful.
Hilly, what did you get? Chicken fettuccine.
Thank you, Hilly. Good on you. All righty. So these next, I think we've got 4 email submissions to get through before we wrap things up, and obviously we'll get a bit of butcher chat before we head out. But the last, so you don't have to. You can come up with something while you think.
Okay, you go.
So if you want to jump in, obviously you can do this at any time. You can do this on our website. You can go to theswingofit.com.au. There is a link there to email us through some stuff. You can send swing videos in. We're going to get the swing videos up when we're all in-house. So we've all been away and it's a bit difficult to get them all up We're going to do that when we're all back in house. You can subscribe on YouTube, on Instagram. You can sign up to be a patron. But you can send some emails in. So we've got a few. Andrew Kraus says, worst golf injuries. I'm currently parked up after pulling some bullshit muscle in my pelvis, all because I was trying to swing like a lightning bolt. Now it takes me 4 minutes to walk, 5 minutes to take a leak. The pain is so sharp I almost fell over, pissed myself, and knocked myself out on the hallway furniture. Coughing hurts, sitting hurts, and don't get me to start about code browns. What's the worst injury you or your listeners have had? Would be keen to hear some stories to help bring some sunshine into my life. Cheers, lads from NZ.
I've got an absolute perler, but you got some?
When I was a young bloke, I got taken to the golf course. It was raining. I jumped out the car, grabbed my bag, put the bag on my back, and I've swung my arm around the carry bag, and I didn't realise that my umbrella, you know the little caps that go on the end of your umbrella?
Yeah.
One of them had come off. So when I put my arm around, the umbrella went straight through my hand.
Really?
Yeah. I pulled it out. My mum's seen blood just dripping down my arm. No, I'm all right. I'm going to hit some balls. Like, it's just an after-school thing. I was gagging to hit some balls. I just taped it up and then went and hit some balls. Still got the scar.
Shit. Yeah. The worst one that I've seen, I haven't actually copped an injury on the golf course before. The worst one that I've seen was Andrew, when we were in the hub for footy over in Queensland, we had RAC Royal Pines we were staying at, and we had this back nine of, like, I think it was the blue course or whatever that we had just to ourselves. And
gorgeous.
It was
gorgeous
lovely.
Course,
and there's the second or the third hole on that nine is a par 3 over the water. And we played there one afternoon with a few of the boys, and it was raining. And Lloyd Meek, who's at Hawthorn at the moment, hit this 6-iron that went straight into the water. And he was frustrated he went to slam his club on the ground, but it was a bit slippery. Held onto it a little bit long, let go of it, and it just went straight at Andrew. Andrew pulled his hip up to protect himself, hit him right in the arse, and his arse went completely black from this bruise, like a full 6-iron just thrown tomahawk style straight at his arse. It was hilarious. Hilarious. Could have been a lot worse, but it was very funny. That's the worst one that I've seen on a course.
3 times in my golfing career, I've hit a ball so fat that I've dislocated my thumb. 3 times now. I did it on camera once.
Oh, my
We're at
goodness.
Brookwater in Queensland.
Yep.
And he goes, I just hit a draw. And then I just caught the ground like this far behind. It's basically just like, because you grip it like...
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And I've come in like, I'm swinging an axe. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to hold it. Oh, well, you hold it. You shadow hold a grip. Oh, all right, mate. You do it for a living. But yeah, caught it so heavy that my right hand has popped onto my thumb and popped it out. And I've had to pop it back in 3 times now.
Wow, that's devastating. One of who was it? The Hackers boys over in New South Wales, hit that one out of bounds, stepped over the thing, and the tee marker flipped up and stabbed him in the foot. That was pretty tough. All right. Yeah, that's bad. Next. Anyway, from Nick. Hey, lads, love the podcast. I have a request for the Golfer's Bible. As a relatively new golfer, I only ever played public courses, so have no idea of how to join a private club and was hoping to get a 101. Some courses, it looks like you can get a referral from existing members. Some courses, anyone can sign up. Doesn't understand the fees fully, the fully involved fees, but can we get a breakdown from the boys of what it looks like to join a private club if that's the way we're going to go?
Well, I think it varies per club. You'll know sort of all about the posh ones, mate. I don't really hang.
No, you remember one. What are you talking about?
Well, okay. Well, I'll talk about Kwinana, right? So Kwinana probably, I feel like, is like the basic version of how you would join as a member. You literally can go online or go into the office and speak to the general manager or whoever it might be, the golf manager, or you can possibly even phone up and you literally say, I want to be a member.
Yep.
There's no nomination fees at Kwinana. It's just you sign up and you can just be a member. That's quite as simple as it gets. Then that entitles you to, and I'd say it's every single golf club does this. You get your GA handicap, your Golf Australia handicap, and then that entitles you to competitions, however many days per week that they do it.
Yep.
But then when it gets to the private clubs, then we start talking about nomination fees. Now, I don't really know too much about that, but how does that, you would know that?
Yeah, basically it's, well, can you say this? But it's a bit, I don't know exactly where that money's going, but a lot of clubs you're gonna have to pay what's the biggest one in WA? 10 grand to just put your name down to become a member, and then there's the membership fees on top of that. So
and then some,
a lot of clubs
Some
doing
courses
that.
have the referral system as well.
Yeah, then I think you have to have a member who can sign saying that you're a decent bloke and you'll be accepted. And
yeah.
But golf's so busy now that so many clubs are implementing that nomination. It's pretty brutal on the wallet.
It's getting tough. But also with the like when you have to have a referee or a secondary nominee, someone nominates you. If you just turn around to them, because it's basically all about saying that you understand the rules of golf. I'm a good guy, or I'm a good woman, and I'm not going to mess the golf course. If you just turn around and show them, flash them your real quick, handy golfer's Bible from the swing of it, which was such a really good idea brought to us by Joel, then we can, then you walk straight into it. So there's definitely that one. But yeah, it's getting more difficult to get into courses at the moment. So just inquire. They're all a little bit different. Who have we got next? Scott Davey. So Big Scotty says, playing the 11th hole at Bunbury Golf Club on a hot summer's day, a playing partner quickly ducked off into the bush. On his return, he is now wearing his wet weather pants. When questioned, it turns out he had to use his towel, undies and shorts to clean up his mess. After explaining himself about his situation, another playing partner pulled a toilet roll out of his bag and said, "You only have to ask." So we asked last week for some shit stories. Scotty's teammates shit himself on the course at Bunbury.
I weirdly have a feeling that I know the person that went into the bush, because when I said that I don't want to talk about it,
that was it. That's the story.
The same story. But it might have been Meadows that the story I'm thinking of, but I think that this happens too much on a golf course, because this might be the third or fourth time I've heard something like this.
So you go to golf, you grab a coffee in the morning. We've had a couple of scary situations in the last 2 days.
And that one time at Mount Compass.
Oh yeah,
we had a big night on the Guinness beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
I saw a change man come out of the toilet block that day.
Yeah.
That's like 10 kilos lighter. It's a different person.
It's just great. Anyway, this is our last one.
That's horrible, chat.
This is that's perfect, mate. Just talking about pooing yourself.
Talking about that.
This is the last one from Jane. So this is a feel-good one to finish before we get to some butcher chat. So anyone else can send some stuff through on the swing of it. You can email in, you can send videos in, you can do whatever you want there. Sign up, subscribe, do whatever you can. Hey, guys, this is Jane, half of Paul and Jane, brackets your token female follower. Hopefully you have many more, and this will encourage them to share. Well done, Jane. Thanks for reaching out. Just a little story from my early days golfing. I was about 19, 20 years old and just starting to learn to play. Most of my shots back then were worm burners. My brother and my ex had just hit their tee shots, and I was walking to the ladies' tee to have my go when a bloke from the other fairway had hit his ball right in front of the ladies' tee. I didn't wish to embarrass myself, so I tried my hardest to encourage him to hit his shot first. Of course he wouldn't, so I have had my shot. Well, it was my best shot to date. Got it in the air, straight down the fairway, feeling pretty pleased about myself. I turned around to go back to my buggy and tripped straight over the tee marker, face first into the grass in front of this bloke waiting to hit his second. Glad I didn't embarrass myself. After watching last week's podcast, I can at least say I haven't killed a duck. But I would like to get to the crows that have stolen a few of my balls, though. 40 years later, I've decided I still want to play this silly game. Love watching the podcast on YouTube. Keep up the good work, Jane. Jane, shout out, Jane. Thank you.
Isn't that amazing that she was nervous about him, and 100% he didn't want to hit a shot in front of her.
Oh,
That's why he said,
That's
no,
why he
you
said,
go.
no, you go first. You go first.
Everyone's
Absolutely.
embarrassed. Everyone's nervous. Yeah, let's just all agree.
Yeah, let's all agree
We
we're
can
all
laugh
shit.
and move on.
Exactly. Anyway, shout out Jane. So anyone who else, if we have any other female followers, that'd be great to listen to, because we know we've got at least one. So anyway, that'd be great. But let's sign us off. I've got to go to training. You guys have got to go drink some more.
How long has this gone for? My watch has died.
Hour 15, hour 20.
Really? Is this gone over? Wow. We were like, this is being in different parts of the world, where this is going to be like a 25-minute
Parts of the
podcast.
world.
We're in Brisbane. We are in Brisbane, John.
Oh, God.
This time does fly.
Yeah.
It's exceptional. Anyway, let's finish it off, round it out with a little bit of butcher chat.
Okay, well, this one's just an easy tip. So most and all butchers should do discounted prices when you buy a wholesale something, right? Now, that can go across the line for, I'll stick with just steaks, right? So you can go and get a porterhouse steak, but you can also go to the butcher, and most butchers should and will discount it. Now, I can't speak for every butcher, but I know that the ones that I use.
Good butchers will. Yep.
You can go and buy a whole slab of porterhouse. Now, it's they can vary in size, but let's say they're anywhere between 3 kilos to, say, 6 kilos, depending on the size of the porterhouse. And you can buy the whole thing. Now, you might outlay say 300 or 350 bucks, but then you can cut those steaks. It is a lot of money. No, but you go to the butcher shop now, you buy 2 porterhouse steaks that are, say, 300 grams, mate, you're looking at like 30 odd bucks plus, right?
Yeah.
But out of this, you're going to be able to cut, say, 15 to 20 steaks. You're going to get a lot more steaks from it because you're buying it at a cheaper price, because it comes down because you're buying wholesale, and then just cut the steaks yourself. Trim a bit of the fat off. Let's just talk about porterhouse specifically because it's the easier one.
Yep.
Go and buy a whole porterhouse from the butcher. It's going to be cheaper. You're going to outlay a lot of money, but it's going to save you in the long term.
Yep.
Cut the steaks however thick you want, and you're just going to save a bit of money that way.
How
Most
long
butcher
would
shops do it?
How long would one of those? So if I can get 10 to 15 steaks out of it, how am I keeping it in my fridge? How am I keeping it?
Well, what I would do is, I know I'm probably going to eat steak at least 2 out of the next 3 or 4 nights, so you'll just keep at least those amount, and you can freeze them down. If you don't like frozen meat, then don't do it. And I'm not a huge fan of frozen, but mate, the dollar's not stretching very far these days. So
Well, yeah, it certainly is the cost of living, and if you want to go and spend $350 to get 15 porters, that works out to be. It works probably out better. You're definitely working out better. So go and get yourself the enormous strip of porterhouse. And if you do that, I would love to see some video footage of anyone walking into. I'd love to see video footage of butchers like handing over a big porterhouse.
I can't. Well, it seems very normal to me because you would deal with that on a regular basis.
Yeah.
They're honestly they're big slabs of meat, but
What part of the cow is that?
Pardon?
What part of the cow is that?
Turn around, chop. Have it. Turn around. This is a visual one, right? So ready? Here we go. We're looking at the back, right? So
if you're not if you're not watching on YouTube and you're just listening to this, you have to get on YouTube to watch where on Ron the porterhouse steak.
This doesn't look right now. This is not a good look, right? So the Scotch fillet starts about here on the back, and it runs down either side of the spine.
Beautiful.
Right? So the Scotch fillet will start here and end about here.
Yep.
And then the porterhouse matches up and touches the Scotch. They're out of the same cut.
Yep.
And the porterhouse runs all the way down to the bottom to where the rump starts, just above
his
your
arse.
buttocks.
And where would the eye fillet be?
That's internal on the inside of the rib.
That's a real juicy
So
part of it.
that's why I feel
Bloody delicious that would be.
It would be, yeah. Well, that's why I feel it is so tender.
Yeah.
Because it does almost no movement. It doesn't have to move, so it doesn't get tough. But it's why it's got less flavour.
That's why it gets tough.
That is why.
Mate, you need your own butcher podcast. I'd listen to this.
Yeah. Well, this is essentially what this is turning into.
Like osso buco is out of the shin.
What?
Osso buco. It's
delicious.
shin beef, so it comes out of the calf. So your calf, as a cow, they're constantly standing on their feet. So it's a muscle that is constantly used and tough and chewy, right? But if you cook that for a long amount of time, it's got the most flavour because it's worked so hard. But then if you cook it right, it's the most tender with the most flavour. And that's why I'm a big fan of slow-cooked meat.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, what a way to sign things off. A live demonstration of the butcher cuts on Ron's back.
Yeah. I can't chip, but God, I can tell you about meat.
I think we should clip that up and put it out there for some butcher chat. Anyway, boys, enjoy the next couple of days. I'm sure I'll be hearing from you. Patrons, sign up. We've got our Q&A. I reckon we'll do a Q&A when you guys get back. Yeah, probably looking at next week because that'll be the start of the next month. We're going to do it monthly, if not, maybe a little bit more. And we're going to give away a hat next week. I've decided.
You've committed to it?
I've committed to giving away a hat or even 2. I'm not sure yet. So, hit us up. Go and find us on YouTube, The Swing of It. Find us on Instagram, The Swing of It. You can jump on there, sign up to be a patron, throw the keys in the jar and become a swinger. We've got big things coming up, but you guys enjoy Triple A. See you in a week when you get back.
I'm going to power into these reds. Thanks for
go and have some Gatorade, boys.
Actually, I need some electrolyte because those prams are coming up.
Righto, see ya.
Bye-bye.